The Charismatic Charlie Wade. Chapter 6.
Claire's announcement sent a shock wave across the room, making everyone gape in extreme surprise. Everyone thought that Claire must be out of her mind. It was the worst time to stand under the limelight now. Other than failing miserably, there's nothing else she could achieve. Emgrand Group was the largest company in Ores Hill, and the Wilson family was nothing more than an insignificant ant to them. Whoever took the challenge would only end up failing. Harold couldn't help but mock sarcastically, "Claire, do you really think you can get a deal from Emgrand Group?" Wendy continued in the same mocking tone after her brother, "Claire, who do you think you are? What do you think Emgrand Group is? You being so reckless and irrational will only humiliate us, the Wilson family." Someone else added, "Wendy is right. If she is kicked out by Emgrand Group, our family will be a laughingstock in Ores Hill." Blood rushed to Claire's face and she felt her face burning in embarrassment. Her status in the family had plummeted since she married Charlie. Not only did the family members ignore her and elbow her aside, but they also derided her parents. She felt that if she could strike that deal with Emgrand Group, she could consolidate her position in the family. The most important thing was that her parents could also stand up tall and be proud of who they were. But under the sarcastic comments and condemnation, she wanted to withdraw herself from her silly idea. She glared at Charlie in annoyance. How did he bewitch her, and why did she listen to him? She shouldn't have made such a silly suggestion in the first place. Lady Wilson was very angry as she listened to the audience's verbal exchanges. No one dared to accept the task after she asked several times. Now that Claire courageously stood up to take the challenge, these people started ridiculing her. Lady Wilson had always disliked Claire, but at this moment, she was glad that Claire was at least willing to walk the impossible talk, unlike the rest of the members who were only good at giving her trouble. Especially her favorite grandson, Harold. He was such a disappointment. Because of this, Lady Wilson's attitude towards Claire changed a lot. She said immediately, "Stop your nonsense, you cowards. I'll pass the task of striking a deal with Emgrand Group to Claire." Sheepishly, Claire mumbled, "Don't worry, Grandma, I'll try my best." Harold puffed a breath from his nose and sneered coldly, "You try your best, and then what? You'll embarrass us when you fail later." Charlie asked in a mocking tone, "Harold Wilson, why do you taunt Claire like that? Do you think that the Wilson family is not qualified to collaborate with Emgrand Group?" Harold had never expected that the loser Charlie Wade dared to speak up during the family meeting, not to mention in such a high-horse manner. Seeing the fury slowly burning on Lady Wilson's face, he quickly explained, "No, I don't mean it like that. I just think it is impossible for Claire to strike the deal. That's all." Charlie laughed in amusement and asked, "What if she succeeds? Should we make a bet?" Harold grinned coyly. "Okay, let's bet then. Do you think I'm scared of your little threat? What do you want to bet? Let's hear you out." Charlie said, "If Claire succeeds, you will grovel at my feet and admit that you're wrong in front of everyone. If she fails, I will grovel at your feet and admit that I'm wrong. What do you think?" "Ha ha ha." Harold laughed out loud. "You're really digging your own grave, loser. All right, I'll take the bet." Charlie nodded with satisfaction and uttered, "Everyone, all of you are our witnesses. Whoever goes back on the bet would have his father, mother, grandpa, and grandma die." He intentionally emphasized the word grandma loudly and clearly, for he didn't want Harold to break their promise after he lost. Harold wouldn't dare to go back on his words after such a statement. If he did repent, he would be cursing his grandmother, Lady Wilson, to die. Lady Wilson would not let him off the hook so easily. Okay. Harold thought that he was on the winning side, but what Harold didn't know was that he was jumping right into Charlie's trap. He laughed loudly and said, "Everyone, you'll be my witness. I'll wait for you to kneel before me." Claire was startled by the entire event that she kept signaling to Charlie with her eyes, but he turned a blind eye to her. Lady Wilson couldn't care less about the bet. Her only concern was whether the Wilson Group could take a spot in Emgrand Group's collaboration list. If the deal was on, she wouldn't even mind if Harold called Charlie his daddy, let alone kneel before him. Thus, she said calmly, "Okay, that's all for today. Claire, you have 3 days to negotiate and strike the deal. Dismiss." After returning home, Claire's parents threw a fist at the young couple. Claire's mother, Elaine Wilson, paced the living room agitatedly and said, "Claire, you're crazy. How could you listen to the loser and accept the task without thinking it through?" Claire's father, Jacob Wilson, turned to Charlie and chided, "Charlie, you hopeless loser, you've pushed my darling daughter right into the grave this time." His face flushed and red as he continued, "If Claire fails this time, she will be elbowed by the rest of the family, and you'll have to bow to Harold like a peasant in front of the whole family. My dignity will be ruined." Charlie said earnestly, "Dad, Mom, everything will be all right if Claire succeeds in the negotiation and strikes the deal, am I right?" "Negotiate my ass." Jacob growled furiously. "Do you have any idea how powerful Emgrand Group is? They won't even bat an eye at the mediocre Wilson family." Charlie said with a smile, "Maybe someone will bat an eye at us, you don't know that. Honestly, I have confidence in Claire. I think Claire will strike the deal easily." Elaine sneered scornfully. "You think? Who are you? Do you think you are the owner of Emgrand Group? You are nothing but a loser, a piece of trash. How do you dare be so ignorant and confident?"